I have a twin sister. And having a twin can be very cool sometimes, especially in high school, like cheating on a test or switching places so you can be sick or go hang out with another friend without your parents knowing. But what my sister did as we are adults is just plain weird. She pretended to be me so she could go and talk to my husband, but guys, if it wasn't for my husband noticing that the birthmark on her arm was missing, well, there's no telling what would have happened. I just wonder what would happen if something unfortunate befell upon my sister. But we have the same DNA, right? Would I get away with it because we have identical DNA? I'm just wondering, right? Just wondering. I'm not planning on anything, I promise. After all, my duty is to save lives, and it applies to all aspects of my life. Oh, that, and of course, I would never harm a hair on her head, because she's my sister. But today, I came awfully close. I can't believe that she would do something like this. When I woke up this morning, instead of sweet messages from my fiance wishing me a good day, I got over 10 messages from him, and he was mad. He was asking why me and my sister did that to him, and it could have ended in disaster. He felt as if that was very treacherous of me, and I could have just told him that I could not attend the event instead of sending my twin sister in my place. I had just woken up and was groggy, but as soon as I read these messages, I was wide awake. It was as if somebody had poured a bucket of cold water on me. I was still disoriented because I got home very tired last night. It took me a while to make sense of what exactly happened, and I asked my fiancé to explain, and then he sent me a picture of us. I was wearing the dress I had wanted to go to the function in, but how? I was sleeping when the picture was taken. Only one person in the world could have been in that picture, and it was my twin sister. To say that I was angry would be an understatement. Guys, I wanted to pull her absolute hair out. Immediately, I rushed into the living room, where I caught her eating breakfast like she had not just caused havoc the previous night. As soon as she saw the look on my face, she stopped eating and swallowed. I could tell that she was nervous, but she hid her tongue and, well, her true feelings were down deep, with an indifferent smirk. I told her to explain herself, but she shrugged. She said that she had always done the switcheroo to help each other out in the past. She did it because she felt bad about, well, how many of Nick's events I had missed lately. I told her my fiancé Nick understood, and that was between us. No one asked her to intervene. I was getting sick and tired of her putting her nose where it did not belong. This felt beyond disrespectful, and she just simply needed to apologize. She told me that she would not apologize. Nobody except Nick noticed that it was not me. She told me that she had even heard many people saying it was a relief that I went to the event because they were worried about my relationship. As if I have time to entertain rumors. I'm literally studying to be a doctor while trying to plan a decent wedding. I very bluntly just pointed out to my sister and was about to carry on when my mom interrupted us out of nowhere. See, Mom interrupted me to tell me that I was out of line and that I should be thanking my sister when I got home from the hospital last night. I could barely stand and went straight to bed, and my sister was kind enough to attend the event. I told my mom I never told her to. I'd already told Nick that I could not make the event earlier that day. It was important, I know, but I had a long shift and an early morning. My mom shook her head and called me ungrateful. She reminded me that Nick was a very successful entertainment producer who had so many admirers, but he picked me. There were girls more available than me out there who could easily snatch him. I told her that no such thing would happen. He loved me. My mom asked me why I did not just find someone who was the same industry as me. She told me that only a fellow doctor would understand my work schedule. A man like Nick, he needs a trophy wife. Yes, my mom was saying all these misogynistic things in this very century. Only she could make a career that I, female 25, have been working my very being off for it to sound like nothing. All those years I've dedicated and will continue to dedicate, it means nothing to her. Many people always say that my parents must be proud because I'm a hard worker. Guys, they have no idea. So, my mom has never shown me any sort of pride. I mean, Even though we are twins, my sister Amber and I have never been the same. She's more into fashion and glam and is doing well as a model and a part-time actress. I, on the other hand, always have my head buried in books. A lot of people are surprised when they find out that I'm the one engaged to Nick. They always assume it's my sister because they're in the same field. It's often made me insecure. My sister putting on a wig to match my hair color, stealing my dress and pretending to be my last night was definitely not what I needed this morning. I had so much that I needed to do. I was under pressure. Now Nick was upset with me and I had to make it up to him. Luckily, I saw him today for lunch. He was filming in the area, so I bribed him with some Mediterranean food, his weakness. He was then able to explain to me what happened the previous night. Apparently, she arrived and starts acting like me. However, since Nick knows me very well, he could tell something was not right. He confronted her, but she tried to deny it. He was then able to point out that she did not have the same scar on her palm that I did. Once her cover was blown, she begged him to allow her to stay at the event. Apparently, there was a lot of industry giants and she did not want to be left out. She could not even introduce herself to them, though, with her real name, so I wondered what she would even hope to get out of that. It just did not make sense for her to be at the event. We're not that close, so it was definitely not out of the kindness of her heart. As her twin, of course, I'm able to sense things, and I definitely feel as if there's more to this. Well, I sent text to her earlier asking for an explanation, but she played dumb. The more she's playing dumb, the angrier that I actually got. She should just admit what her ulterior motives were, and I'll drop it. Nick discovered her by accident, but what would have happened if he did not? How far would she have gone to make sure that her cover was not blown? My sister was ambitious, just as I do. Mine is for medicine and helping people, and hers is for fame. She wants to be popular and recognized by everyone, which is understandable. However, her thirst for it is unhealthy. To make matters worse, Mom indulges her. Many times she's fallen sick because of unhealthy diets or beauty regimens. I've advised her against this, but she keeps on going. If this was another ploy for her to get what she wants, so help her. I'm her sister, and she could not hide anything from me. I'm going to find out what she really wanted to do last night. I am already very angry with her right now, and I don't think that I can stand to be in the same house as her. I think that I'm going to avoid her till my anger simmers. I don't like to let my temper out because it can be quite explosive. Contrary to most people's belief, my sister is more even-tempered than I am. I guess it comes with her acting talents. I have to train myself to not snap when I'm pushed. She better hope that her motives are not going to make me more upset. When I find out not even Mom is going to be able to save her, I'm going to make sure that she cries. Mark my words, no way is she going to cause problems in my relationship because of a scheme. I'm honestly tired of her. Mom and their constant plans, which only serves her. They really don't have to do that last night, Comment number 1. Oh my gosh, is your sister crazy to do that? I mean, come on. Twin switching places can be a funny experience, but not when the other does not know. You want my honest opinion? I think that your sister was trying to make moves on your fiance, but he caught her. If she kept pretending to be you and succeeded, who knows how far things could have gone. I think your mother was just in on this as well. From the way that you described her, she does not seem to think, that you deserve Nick. Maybe she wants your sister to be with him because he has the power to advance her career. Please watch your back, when both of them are involved. You never know what they're actually thinking. I know it can be a far-fetched to suggest such a thing, but people can be sick out there. Be careful because you never know what they might actually do. Comment number 2. Wow, it seems that you and your twin are not the stereotype. From what I could read, the two of you did not get along at all, and it's a problem. I really think that you should consider fixing things with her. What happened between the two of you that caused this feud? I know for certain that it's not just about last night. There's more to this. I also can't help but think that your mom might be the cause of this feud. She seems to favor your sister a lot more than you. Could you perhaps be feeling jealous because of that? What am I trying to say here is don't jump to conclusions before you get the full scoop. Have an open, honest conversation with her and see exactly where you can go from there. At the end of the day, you shared a womb and don't have to be at each other's throat like this. Come on, grow up. Update number 1, 1.5 weeks later. Guys, subscribe to the channel. Before I say anything else, I would like to tell you that I tried. I tried to be the big person and not be too harsh on my sister. But wow, that woman really dislikes me. I know that it's a wild accusation to make, but what else can I say after what happened yesterday at my dress fitting? I even had a breakdown at work today because of it. How could my sister go for my insecurities like this? Yesterday, I had a dress fitting at the bridal shop. It did not go well. I've lost a lot of weight since the last time I tried it on, and it's going to have to go in for alterations. But if I keep on going at this rate, I will have an even larger problem. I know exactly why there has been a fluctuation in my weight. It's because of how busy I've been. I'm always trying to do 20 things at once, and the worst part is that I'm a perfectionist. So they have to be done in a certain way. I've neglected a lot of things, one of them being my health, because of all the things that I have to do. But I just know that soon things will let up. Nick has been so supportive and encouraging. Having him in my life has made everything feel worth. I just know that after the wedding, everything will be so much better. For now, I'm so emotional because of what my sister did. I was leaving the bridal shop after the dress failed to fit when I realized I left something in the dressing room. When I went back, I froze because my sister was wearing my wedding dress, and it fit her perfectly. I could not even be in the same room as her after that. Instead, I told her, "Take off my dress." And then I left. I actually went and blocked her. I blocked out what happened because I did not want it to affect my day. This afternoon at the hospital shift, my stepmother brought me some coffee and asked how I was feeling after all that happened. Yes, I have a step-grandmother, okay? She's 42 years old while my grandpa's 72. Yep, that's right. See, when she married him, many people thought that she was after his money, but it's simply not true. She's very successful of a surgeon at the hospital I'm at doing my residency. She's also very smart and empathetic. I think that I'm the only person in the family who gets along with her, but it's fine. She was there at the dress fitting yesterday and saw it go down. When she asked how I felt about what my sister did, I could not help but burst out crying. I told her that, these ways, it just felt like nothing was my own. My sister was always there waiting to replace me. Seeing her in my wedding dress made me feel worse about myself and made me think about what happened last week. We've only just stopped arguing about that night, but she has started a whole new thing. I've not even confronted her because I'm so hurt. It's like she knows all the ways to hurt me, and she keeps on doing it. I now wonder if there's truth in how my mom said Amber is better for Nick. Who am I kidding? Thinking that he could be with someone like me when my glamorous sister is out there? I'm literally wasting away because of how busy I am. What if one day he wakes up and realizes that he picked the wrong sister? I don't think that I'd be okay. I confided in Mary about all this, and she was so comforting. She told me that it was just stress and suggested that I have over some of the wedding planning duties to her. I feel so much better after talking to her, and I know that things are actually going to be okay. Update number 2, 1 week later. I said that the things would be okay, but boy was I wrong. They were about to take a very sharp turn, little did I know. Today is the most shocking thing that happened. I'm still trying to process it, and I'm convinced that this is a dream. There's no way that something so epic will happen. Last night, we had dinner with my grandpa, Mary's husband. It was a normal family dinner where our only mom, Amber, myself, Mary, Elias, which is mom's older brother, were there. It was going normally until mom had to ruin it. She asked me how far I was at the wedding prep, and went on, arguing about me not doing everything on my own. I told her that Mary was actually helping, it wasn't just me. She said that it was good that Mary was being useful because I needed free time to spend with my fiance. That was the first comment which made Mary's face fall. Mom cannot go an hour without making Mary feel small. I told Mom to back off. So, then she asked if Mary was suddenly my best friend now. She asked what was so special about her because I let her help me with the wedding prep, but I did not let Mom or Amber do anything. I wanted to say that I did not want my wedding to turn into a circus, but I did not want to be mean. I reminded my mother that I wanted a simple wedding while she and my sister wanted something big. I really did not want to clash with her. My mom then scoffed and said that I was very boring, and she wondered what Nick saw in me. Right after my sister scoffed, but I was frozen in my seat. Mary exclaimed and told my sister that she was out of line. Mom just laughed and said that the wedding dress even fit better on my sister. It was as if it were made for her. She had a playful tone, but her words, it worked magic on me. They played on the fears and insecurities that I always had. I looked down so that my tears would not show, and all I wanted to do was be alone. I nearly jumped out of my seat at that noise and the unexpected sound. Immediately, I looked up and saw my mom with a shocked expression on her face and a hand on her cheek. Standing next to her, with his hand still in the air after slapping her, was my grandfather. It could not be. Grandpa, who had always been quiet when Mom made her jabs, was actually standing up and doing something? Everybody at the table was stunned because it was so unlike Grandpa to do something like that. He usually let us have our discussions and barely contributed. My mom eventually recovered from what happened and asked her father what the hell he had done. He said that he had done something he should have done a long time ago. Did she not get tired of always spewing hurt and hatred? And he had heard how she and my sister have been treating me, and also what happened with the wedding dress. He was fed up with them, and they needed to stop. Well, my mother was speechless and actually took a few seconds to recover. When she finally did, she pointed at me and asked what I have done. Clearly, I was projecting all of my insecurities upon her. Now, her own father had slapped her because of me. She then looked up at her dad and said that I was overreacting and being weak. She did not understand why I had to make such a big deal out of things. Just like that. Well, Grandpa immediately told her to shut up. She was incredibly insulted and said that she would not stand for such disrespect. She told Amber to get her things ready because they were about to leave. I was about to say something, but she shushed me. She warned me to not even stand up. Since I wanted to run to Grandfather, I could stay with him. She was done taking care of me and wanted me out of the house ASAP. I felt pure dread. I could not believe that she had kicked me out, and I don't even have time to recover because Grandpa's voice boomed, saying that no such thing was going to happen. If anybody was going to move out, it was my mother. Did she forget that she was staying in his house? We all looked at him in disbelief, while my mom suddenly had a look of realization on her face. She tried to reason with him, but he left her standing there. Some minutes later, his butler told her to leave the premises, and I decided to spend that night at Grandpa's because I was unsure of what the hell would await me with my mom. Did he really just kick her out? It's still the morning time, so I don't know, but you best believe that I will find out. Update number 3, 2 weeks later. Hey guys, so I did promise an update and I finally have the chance to do it, albeit 2 weeks later. Firstly, I want to say to you guys that Nick and I are getting married in 2 weeks. This is the good news that family needs after the drama of the past couple of days. I can't wait to say that I do to the love of my life, who's perfectly suited for me despite what my mother and sister think. Speaking of those two, they have had a hell of a couple of weeks. See, when Gramps told them to leave, they decided to disregard him. The evening after dinner, they were forcefully removed from the premises, and I did not see it in person, but somebody took a video which circulated for a couple of days in our little circle. As you can imagine, this was not good optics. Because of how closely tied they are to Nick and my sister's career, people noticed. I got looks at work and questions from those who dared to ask, but I shut them down. I don't gossip, except anonymously on the internet, of course. Ugh. Well, my sister and mother are not staying somewhere else in town, and they are not happy with me. They blame me for everything that happened, even though they put themselves in this position. I'm not the one who told them to act the way around Grandpa. Who knew that he would get fed up like that? Honestly, I was grateful to him for the way that he stood up for me. He tends to stay away from family squabbles, but I have a feeling Mary told him how this affected me. I'm more thankful to her for this. This is the reason why I like her so much. I mean, she's a genuinely good person who not only loves my grandpa, but his family as well. No matter what happens, I know that she's going to have my back. So, what has happened lately, right? My sister and mom harassed me, but I blocked them. I told them that I would press charges if they carried on, and they just stopped eventually. I mean, yeah, they've not been able to return to the house since what happened, and Grandpa has put in strict measure. He offered the house to me, but I could not accept it. That house holds a lot of bad memories for me because of how my mom and sister have always treated me. When Father passed away, I no longer had anyone in the house. The two of them comforted each other and grew close while I was shut out. Nothing I ever did could make my mom happy. She seemed to tolerate me. Her comments and clear desire to kick me out have definitely shown that she does not love me. Because of her hatred, she's now a pariah in the family. Everyone heard that she tried to push Amber onto Nick and insulted me. They're not impressed at all with her. In addition, the patriarch of the family, showing support for me, also has some weight. For the first time in my life, I have the upper hand. Grandpa said that I can tell him to do anything to them and he will. I have all the power, but I will not use it. I'll have a beautiful wedding, marry Nicholas, and their jealousy will be the perfect revenge. When I marry the love of my life, I hope that Amber feels defeated because no matter how many stunts that she pulled, he'll never look at her in that way. I no longer feel insecure about my relationship or convinced that he will leave me for her. It turns out it was just my mother's voice in my head all along. Funny how these things turned out. Am I right? Final update 2 months later. Oh boy. So, no matter what happens, I've learned to always live in the moment and not stress too much. What happens over the past couple of months have me too stressed, and as soon as the wedding was over, I decided that I was done stressing. I had done too much for a lifetime, and I needed to relax and enjoy time with my husband. Nick and I got married without much drama, except for my sister trying to visit him at his hotel the night before the wedding. He told me about it immediately and informed me that he told her where to get off. He told me not to stress about her, and I actually stopped. Clearly, Nick will never have feelings for her, and she has to resort to dirty tricks to get attention. Her hunger for him and what he can do for her is embarrassing. I realized recently that it was never even about him. It was about getting ahead no matter what she had to do to sleep with. A couple of days ago, I found out that my sister had been sued for everything she had by somebody who I thought was her friend. Guys, upon further investigation, I discovered that she had gossiped about her friend and stolen her boyfriend. Her friend could not take it lying down, so she decided to press charges. Now, many of the girls she was friends with claimed that she always acted funny with their boyfriends. After she and her mom were kicked out of the house, her career took a dip. As she was recovering, this had to happen. She's never going to recover from this, though. She's done. Especially after what I just heard. She'll have a hard time coming back from this. So basically, her friend won the defamation of character case and sued her for everything that she had. She and mom had to settle, or else she would face jail time. As we speak, the two of them had just been kicked out of their hotel for non-payment. It's going to be a long couple of months for them because everyone hates them right now. They better not even think about asking me because I will never ever help them. They tried to sabotage my relationship and my wedding, but they deserve this and so much more. I just love how karma is fixing them. Since Grandpa has already cut them off financially, they have nowhere to get money now. My sister has a lot of her modeling gigs, sure, and while mom works, she does not really make that much, but she decided to semi-retire after my sister started modeling so she could become her manager. I was always made to feel like an outsider because they would spend so much time together. Now, I'm no longer envious of them. I hope that they bore each other till eternity. On the bright side, my husband and I have just moved into our dream home. Grandpa gave us money for a new house as a wedding gift. We got a big house in the quiet part of the city, which is close enough for both of our works. See, we've been taking a bit of a break from that as well to enjoy newlywed life. I can't tell you the last time I felt such bliss. I can't believe I ever doubted that this man loved me. He shows me that he does it every single day. I appreciate it. We're going to enjoy the little time that we have away from working, but soon it's going to be back to that grind. But it's fine, because we're both hard workers and just understand that we will have days without properly seeing each other. What nonsense was my mom even spouting about us being complete opposites? We're literally the same person in different bodies because of all our mannerisms. I guess it comes with being together for so long. Guys, that's it. I have to go now. My husband has just been calling me to join him in the kitchen. He's cooking tonight.